Welcome, welcome. You know what would be called human tragedy? What was spoken about yesterday? What it brings to the surface for the one who is trusting and unguarded is it brings the unity, what appears to be such disruptive separation actually brings unity of the heart to the surface. No better example in this than the crucifixion of Jesus. For the fabric of everything lies in the unity of everything. And when the separation or the experience of separation when the filaments of unity are felt in this fabric that can look like separation, it's the birth of love. Love is perhaps the greatest gift of the mother's creation. For the mother's creation has created the appearance of many flavors of the one essence. And when the unity of these flavors are felt, The taste is love. And the thing about love is it cannot be taken away. Situations can change, circumstances can change, opinions can change. But love is the fabric within everything. It's the life blood of the divine. It's what connects us all. In pure creation in Brahman, there is such nectar and sweetness indescribable. But without the creation of life as we know it, with all of the various flavors and vibrations and colors, all of the different notes, without this there is no relationship of self to self. There is only the self. But the relationship of self to self is the birth of love. And love is the grace of God. When you begin to realize that no matter what occurs, that love is actually the kingdom of heaven that lives within you. That nothing can break it apart. Nothing can destroy it. And what looks to be destructive, which means a heightening of the intensity of the experience of separation, causing some sort of clash, some sort of pain. Inherent in the pain lives this fire of love. It is not always easy, the courage to go through the human existence with all that is being offered will challenge the human being to its core. But the essence of all life is this pure love. And the more there is the willingness to be open in the face of what conditioning is wanted to close down, the greater there is the draw into the love itself, the more welcoming the love itself is. Like here within this community, I've recently felt such an intensification of the beauty of this love affair with all of you. What happens as there is the feeling of the beauty of this love affair with all of you is the connection deepens. As the connection deepens, you feel the flavor which is called me, I feel the flavor which is called you more vividly and more consistently. And that it is not my transmission that begins changing things. It's the appearance of separation that is discovering the unity, and that the unity cannot be severed no matter how it looks. And this is recognized over time to be trusted so deeply. It is like a magnet. It is a magnet of beauty. Can begin feeling the pull of the heart for each of you, feeling the idiosyncratic behavioral adaptations more vividly, not in a way of judgment, but in a way of this profound tenderness that is the healing. And the healing comes because the sense of unity is growing, and the unity is the answer. It is the answer. It is the joy of life. It is why we come together. Ultimately, it is not about getting something. It is simply about sharing the love that unifies all of us and continues on no matter what is at play. And it shines as true life. As true life. And nothing can shatter it. When Jesus was dying on the cross with the intensity of the trauma that was happening, he said, "Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing." The feeling of love for those that were bringing forth this intense burning comes more and more to the surface as the burning becomes more intense. It's the mystical secret. The mystical secret lives in the silence of the heart. You know, solitude is not being separate from anything. It's simply being free of the distraction of the conditioned egoic mind, so that the love that is alive and unifying every single thing is felt amongst all species, all forms of life, within the wind and the forest, within the ocean, within the grasses, within every human being, every animal, everything. Everything shares this love. Coming in all vibrations and all forms. Creativity is love in action. You know, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this person who plays classical piano would set his piano up in the woods and play this classical music. I don't remember what country, I think in South Africa. And all of these elephants would come and stop and stand there silently and listen to the music until he was done. The creative expression of the heart is felt through all species, through all life, through all flavors. There is certainly enough work and challenge, but the love is always there. It is the haven that is always there. And the greater the challenge, the more available the love becomes. Until you feel it no matter what is going on. Until what you thought was creating misery begins to reveal itself as the doorway that has eroded all conditioned belief of being separate and open the infinite vastness of the heart that holds and nurtures and caresses all of the Mother's creation. From where I sit, the answer to why we are here is to love. It starts with what is called our self, because the conditioned mind has its most aggressive issues with what is called me. And then it gets reflected out there, and then the dream must reflect it. And the habit is to look out there and not trust what is out there, where all of it originates from a misunderstanding that the true healing is not in understanding. Understanding can be helpful. It's not in navigation. Navigation can be helpful. It is not in a thing. These various things can help orient. It is in the love, which is everywhere, centerless, timeless, formless, seamless, permeating all of the myriad of expression in the beauty of God's dream. And war originating in thought. Even this, love holds the space for. When love holds the space, it doesn't matter what it is holding the space for. The taste is the love. It seems to the mind that love is dependent on particulars. But what we are taught in this life is that it is not dependent on anything. It is the essence of what you are. It is why you are inherently free. You are free to be a lover. You are free to be a lover. And this recognition sends this beautiful message out to the entire cosmos. And it can be felt. The celebration of this recognition throughout the cosmos can be felt. You know, I heard this very inspiring story when I was maybe in my early 20s, that has stayed with me my whole life. And it was the story of a man who was living in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, where so many of the drug addicts live. And he was helping these junkies who were strung out on heroin, just offering himself, not charging anything, offering space for them to live, offering his vital life force to them. And one person who was strung out went into this wild fit and asked this man for some heroin, which he, of course, didn't have to give him. And this man tied him up and killed him, slowly tortured him. And this man's mother took the man in who murdered his son. She took him in. Defies the imagination. But you can't injure love when you are rooted in it deep enough. It lives through everything. In environments like this, it nurtures something to a point where the possibility is for your nature of your heart to spread its wings beyond anything that is particular. You realize you are not a man or a woman. You include the form of a man and a woman. You are not bound by time, but you are inclusive of the appearance of time. You are not this or that, but all of the thises and the that's appear within you. But you are the love that cannot be taken away. And this human lifetime is a schooling that will challenge that. And this is our mission. It's not a mission about a future. It's a mission about the heart that is right now. Holding love for everything right now, meaning that when the mind is distracting the attention, instead of getting pissed off and following a story of failing, it is just feeling the love, the innocence. There is no individual. There is no choice. There is no blame. There is no flaw. There is the heart, the oneness, the unity, the beauty that lives in heaven within you at no distance for it takes no time. What is at no distance is not in time. It is the kingdom that you have come potentially to reclaim, to wake up from the slumber and reclaim your nature. And it holds no preference. The mind holds preference. It's not about having issue with the mind's preferences. It is built upon preference. It will continue to have preference. But love has no preference. It only knows one thing, and that is to love. The more you love, the more you are at one with. The more you are at one with, the bigger you grow. The bigger you grow, the more sensitive you become. The more sensitive you become, the more you feel the God essence in everything. Only love, infinite flavors of the healing that lives forever. The gift of creation. The gift that is now. That cannot be described, but can be felt. And one taste changes the life eternally. Desiring love is not a flaw or a fault. It is not selfish. Like a magnet, it is pulled unto itself, just to follow its flow. So simple. I am so in love. We are all underneath the surface, so in love.